BlizzCon 2018 came and went, and while Blizzard tried to temper fans' expectations about a new Diablo game, it was all for naught. When Diablo Immortal was announced, it was met with a heavy amount of derision from fans. In all seriousness, there's one game that Diablo fans have been waiting for and expecting, and it's not Diablo 3 Eternal Collection on any platform, though the franchise landing on the Switch is welcome news. What Diablo fans and the gaming media are waiting for is the new next major mainline Diablo game, Diablo 4. The anticipation has been building for so long, we are inclined to ask, fully aware that everyone else is asking the same thing, where the hell is Diablo 4? While many of us are still eager in anticipation, it's still worth noting that Diablo 4, much like Fable 4, hasn't been formally announced yet. Perhaps it's also worth noting that it was more than a decade that separated Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, but we're almost certainly not going to be waiting nearly that long, seeing as Diablo 3 first released in May of 2012. Indeed, part of what motivates the creation of this video is the lingering, palpable frustration that so many must have with waiting for even the official unveiling of the next major Diablo title. Those expecting something at all being in the works at Blizzard wouldn't be anticipating without reason. Interestingly, this game's radar write-up published in late June of this year gathers 9 job listings made by Blizzard on their official website's careers page. As of writing this particular GamingBolt video, there are now 10 listings, all for positions related to the Diablo franchise, though for an unannounced project, which for all of the best gamblers is more likely to be Diablo 4 than it isn't Diablo 4. Now, while the fact that Blizzard is making job listings for obviously not Diablo 4 is a positive sign insofar as it suggests that Blizzard's seriousness in pushing this new Diablo game, one can wonder what it means that these positions remain open after at least 4 months of posting. Activision Blizzard did recently let go of 8% of their workforce in 2019, amounting to about 800 personnel let go, with a little more than 200 from Blizzard specifically being released. That being said, many of these personnel let go were in positions not directly involved in game development. A recent statement on company strategy made in February made some key tells on priorities, including Activision Blizzard's plan to increase our investment in game development across our biggest franchises, and that over the course of 2019 we plan to increase the number of developers working on our key franchises by approximately 20%. And per a citation found in this PC Gamer article, COO Cody Johnson said that the Diablo franchise's headcount will grow substantially as the teams work on several projects already underway for the franchise. The concept of there being several projects being worked on for Diablo is a rather curious statement to make. The odds that a Diablo 4 isn't in existence isn't high at all, but what sort of games could be pushed besides Diablo 4 from within the company? It must be reiterated that there was a planned increase in hiring staff tailored to game development in the company's biggest franchises. The idea of working on Diablo projects besides a heavy investment and heavy maintenance project, such as a live services-oriented Diablo game, sounds like a tall order even for a company as big as Activision Blizzard. In a recent report from the major French outlet Le Monde, we learned that apparently there is already a playable build of Diablo 4 in existence. This same report also teases the existence of an Overwatch 2 from Blizzard, a separate piece of news that itself has already attracted much attention, what with the immense popularity of Overwatch as it is. The Le Monde report says that a playable build has already been shown off to Blizzard's employees in Versailles, France. That same Le Monde report, translated by a fan, suggests that neither Diablo 4 nor Overwatch 2 will release before 2020. These whisperings line up with a separate report made by Kotaku, which sourced anonymous personnel from within Blizzard, saying that a StarCraft first-person shooter was canceled so that these staff members could be devoted to working on an Overwatch 2 and a Diablo 4 game. Both of these games are rumored to be headlining announcements at the upcoming BlizzCon, and per the Kotaku article, will be important games for Blizzard in the coming years, as you might expect considering both are major franchises for Activision Blizzard. Nevertheless, as the cited Screen Rant article suggests, that there is a playable build already available is great news for BlizzCon later this November, as it can jumpstart hype for Diablo as a franchise and reacquire lost goodwill after the failures in communication and the disappointment that surrounded Diablo as a franchise during last year's BlizzCon, though perhaps it's worth noting that Immortals happens to be a financial success for Blizzard as a company. But a playable build for Diablo 4 means more opportunities for media engagement. And after the poor reception to Diablo Immortal, the pressure on Blizzard and Diablo 4 to deliver something spectacular is on. Diablo, like Overwatch, is by no means a franchise that should be quietly or minimally attracting attention. And that concludes our video asking where the hell Diablo 4 is supposed to be. While fans and many in the general gaming public were clearly disappointed not to see Diablo 4 at last year's BlizzCon, despite Blizzard asking for people to manage their expectations for anything Diablo related then, what with the suggestion of a playable build available, we can hope against hope that Diablo 4 will make a formal debut at this year's BlizzCon, with Blizzard already foregoing this year's Gamescom 2019 in Germany. Blizzard made this decision reportedly to emphasize their focus on developing current projects, and is looking forward to sharing more details about the projects we're currently working on when the time is right. When the time is right is the operative phrase, quite clearly, but it's a sentiment that Blizzard is expressly serious about, after the cancellation of Titan, a game that was in development for several years, and for which Blizzard had made lofty and ambitious statements about its future, before it was eventually canceled and its work later repurposed for Overwatch. After the sour note struck by the reveal of Diablo Immortal, has the wait for a Diablo 4 felt too long such that your anticipation or excitement upon actually seeing the game just won't measure up? Would your interest still be maintained with the onslaught of promotional media that would be sure to follow? Would you rather have had Blizzard make some sort of Diablo 4 announcement last year, even if there was no playable build or only a brief announcement trailer to show? How confident are you about Blizzard's support of Diablo 4 post-launch, and how do you feel about prospective monetization strategies for the game? The next major Diablo game is likely going to incorporate live services in a way that is foreign to longtime fans of the franchise. The auction house of Diablo 3 is a display of Blizzard's intent in finding more ways to monetize their titles, though the auction house was eventually shut down. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below, and as always, thanks for watching. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.